Welcome to the grand final! Best of 5, everybody! Qualifier number 1 for the Murky Cup. So, Murky Cup is our newest tournament here, and we have a couple of cool rules to incentivize teams to play heroes that you would normally not see. Now, first of all, we have, when it comes to the draft, a draft restriction that we ran in the past a lot. You can only play a hero once within a series, so you're not seeing Hanzo, Genji, or Blaze every single map. They can only be played once within a series. But what we did with the Banshee Cup in the past is we introduced the bounty system, and we're using essentially the same system now for the Murky Cup with a slight deviation. So what's happening is that we have in total for the tournament a prize pool of $2,000. Huge shout out to I Can't Wait, by the way, who made this entire tournament possible. So he's the sugar daddy of the Murky Cup. And the tournament is also kind of named after him a little bit, since he loves to see Murky, loves to play Murky. So hence the Murky Cup, and also the twist that we have for the bounties. But back to that in a moment. As I was just about to say, we have $2,000 of prize money for the event here. 1,000 go to the top teams in the tournament, as with any other tournament too. And then $1,000 go to the bounty pool, the bounty prize pool. Now, bounties are just specific handicaps that the teams can go for within a draft to make the game a little bit harder for them, a little bit more fun for us. For example, win a game with Murky, win a game with Nova, win a game with Butcher. And both of these teams in the first qualifier have actually already completed bounties. And every single time that a team does that, what happens is they get a bounty ticket. And then at the end of all the tournaments, at the end of the 6 qualifiers and the playoffs, we're looking at how many bounties were completed in total, and each team then gets a share of those $1,000 in the bounty pool according to how many bounties they completed in relation to the total. Just a little bit of an idea, the bounties for the tournament look like this. The Murky bounty gives you 3 tickets, so there's a huge incentive to actually play Murky at some point during the tournament here. But we've already had a few bounties completed. The Abatha Monstrosity bounty was completed by both of the teams that we have here in the grand final, by the Exodia stack and by Team Ash. And the Exodia stack also completed the Nova bounty. From that alone, you can already gather that each team has their individual bounty board, and each team can only complete a bounty once. That's pretty much it. That sets us up here. We have 6 qualifiers in total. Teams gather points as they progress through the qualifiers. Those points are being added up into a leaderboard. And at the end of the 6 qualifiers, the top teams, the top 6 teams, make it into the playoffs. And that's where we're starting things off with Haunted Mines, our first map here. Jojo, Riorel, and Sylvanas have been taken. And the one thing that we have seen so far from the Exodia stack is that they actually, in pretty much every single game so far, tried for a bounty. So, starting with the semifinals in the qualifiers. So the question currently is, are they going to do that against Team Ash as well? They completed 2 bounties in the semifinal when they were facing off against the dudes. So, the team around Ultralisk and Gavlo. So now the question if they can do it here again. And if they're trying to, of course. And I wouldn't put it past them at all. The question is simply, are they trying to? And if so, what? Team Ash, not really a pushover team by any means. This is a strong team, a very aggressive team that will always try and bring the fight to you. So, bounty or no bounty? And obviously, at some point, you know, the bounties are becoming a little bit more difficult. There's a difference in you playing the Monstrosity or you having to play the Butcher all of a sudden. So, something that they have to account for too. But, well, with the Exodia stack, with Stukov and with Orphea. So, Uther probably doubling as a main tank. I think we have a triple healer bounty, don't we? So, I'm looking at Benny over here and wondering what he is going to pick. If he's actually going into a proper tank or what we're getting. Double support already together with Orphea. A couple of alarm bells are already ringing here. Then again, we get Anna for Renella. And for Miriale playing on the account down for life, we get Chromie. So, Chromie Sylvanas for the damage. Urel John at the front. And now the final pick for the team in blue. Uther main tank. 3 healers. Orphea hyper carry. Hogger in the side lane. Oh, what's it going to be? Just a normal tank for him here on Haunted Mines? Honestly, I don't know what to expect from these guys. They're just insane. They're crazy. There's Kerosene. Triple healer, everybody. Triple healer for the Exodia stack. They're going for another bounty attempt against Team Ash. Game number 1 in the best of 5 grand final. On the left, the triple healer combo with Hazorps on Stukov, Copenhagen on Hogger. We have Yazu on Karazim, Dino on Orphea, and Bad Benny on Uther. And doubling as the main tank here with Team Ash in red on the right side. Dead inside on Urel, we got Renella on Ana, Bishops on Sylvanas, Lopaka is playing Jojo, and we got Miriala on the account Down for Life playing Chromie in the first game of the Grand Final Series. So, yeah, apparently the Exodia stack has come into this tournament and said, you know what guys, the second we can, we're gonna just start trying bounties until it doesn't work anymore. So they're really moving in on the bounty stacks. And they have completed already some, but as I said before, there's some bounties that are fairly easy to complete, I'd say. And some bounties that are going to be a lot harder if they really want to pull it off. But hey, I'm totally here for it if they want to keep trying. No problems with that. Grenade build on Ana. Obviously tons and tons of sustain right now on the blue team side. So yeah, they're having a huge amount of sustain with the comp that they are playing here. And the only question is honestly if they will be able to get the kills. If there is going to be a bit of a momentum swing that eventually is going to happen when the red team starts taking down heroes themselves. Karazim will go for damage talents, Stukov likely too, so they can adapt a little bit on this. With Haunted Mines being the map right now, there's of course also always the question who moves down into the mines, who doesn't, who goes for the golem, who's just trying to take some lanes down. And Orphea gets killed, but the counter kill is at least there with Karazim jumping into the back line and taking Sylvanas down. So, trading kills early on in the game, 1 for 1. And now the next few hits coming as we are looking at possibly... I mean, the thing is also you have Sylvanas now against you, so I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, if they were planning right from the start to go for a triple healer, that they didn't ban out Sylvanas. Simply because I'm looking at this and think to myself, well, once that they lose a fight, if Sylvanas is in there, the momentum is insane, and she is usually a ban on this map, because she's just so insanely powerful in that situation. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. Now, as it stands, we got Dead inside, slowly starting to move back out, had to give up on the camp. Again, the sustain is crazy that they're running here. Dead inside gets slapped by Dino with Orphea, and now they're going for Bishops for another potential kill, and he gets dropped as well. So Bishops is down, Orphea with a double kill, Uther has been destroyed too, so they got 1 counter, but it's 3 kills to 2 now in favor of the team in blue. And that's not too bad. They're pulling ahead in experience here. They're starting to go for a few of the camps. We have for Stukov the reactive Ballistospores as his level 1 talent. Can of course now follow up on all of that with the vigorous reuptake. And we're getting the air ally in this case for Karazim. I mean, a couple more camps taken, but the mines are now opening up. So this is where things are starting to get quite interesting. With the first golem, normally, you know, teams are... Again, you're not too worried about it just yet. Defending the first one is fairly alright, fairly straightforward, but they're already taking a couple of hits at least. So yeah, starting in to take this one. Karazim is already on it. Hogger obviously is in a much better position to claim those. And the red team has, at least as of now, not sent a single hero down, and instead has just said, you know what, we're going to just push for lanes and see what we can do. Specifically, of course, with Sylvanas. It's going to be much more important for them later on to try and take a golem when they have a lot that they can do with Sylvanas. But you can already see it bearing fruit here. And they are trying to take advantage of the problems that that triple support comp has. You have a lot of sustain, you can be very annoying, you can really just play for ages through these team fights, but you're not quite on the same page when we talk about push power on any kind of structure. Hogger is still at the bottom level and is taking more stacks for the team and is doing his thing here. But yeah, the wall has already fallen. They're also trying to take some of those supports, some of those healers out, but of course it's tricky. As long as they don't run out of mana, they are just going to heal each other 6 days to Sunday. That was always the big problem, the insane amount of sustain. Even in the days of HGC, when at times we had double support being the absolute meta, and it was essentially double support against double support, and it was a question of who would run out of sustain first. There was always that break-in point. And once that you moved past it, it was much, much easier for you to have a proper impact and get your kills and stuff. But getting to that point was always a slog. In this case, it's a little bit easier, I would like to argue. And there's also the macro aspect, but yeah. 72 golem skulls already in favor of the blue team. Again, red team was not interested whatsoever. It's just the big golem that is still left there, and I think things will wait out a bit. Both teams now on level 7. That gave us a targeted excision. And we get the blinding speed now too. So, how aggressive are they going to be around this? I mean, for now we have a couple of camps that are being targeted more so than anything else. Level 7 still not locked in, by the way, on Johanna's side. And the blue team is going to make a move for skulls. So yeah, they make a move for the golem. Lopaka is there, maybe just tries to slow them down a little bit to give more time for Sylvanas at the top to make a play. She, by the way, is barely able to escape as she was targeted. And Jojo's just slowing them. There's more camps being claimed now, but this is going to be 100% on the skull count against 0, of course. So this is going to be a fairly small golem for the red team. Baby golem. Just an oversized minion, nothing else. But they're looking to see if they can maybe even go for the fight. That would be bad. Losing Jojo here would be a bit of a disaster. Ana, so far so good. And they're getting out. But damn, Jojo was really cutting it close there. So, topside push could become a bit of an issue. Now again, one team has Sylvanas, the other don't. So, no Chromie! Yeah, that makes things even worse for the red team. Chromie is gone, and damn, that is going to make their defense harder. Everybody's already moving towards the top. Hogger is easily defending this down at the bottom of the map. I mean, not even... Look at this. This is not even happening. Literally oversized minion. That's all that we're looking at here. Absolutely not playing a big role. And then we have the big boss. Yes, it's only 6.5 minutes into the game, granted. But this is still such a difference that they will lose some ground here. Is the fort gonna fall? Yes, no. I mean, we'll see. It's a 5 versus 4. At least it was. Now Urel is moving towards the bottom of the map in order to deal with Hogger before he's able to do too much damage down there. But over here, work is continuing. 4 kills to 2, and they're closing in on level 10 so quickly. That's another problem that they're facing off against. There's the slap, and the fort is gone. With the first objective, the fort is already destroyed. Leading experience has been established. And with level 10 abilities, they can now go for 7-sided strike. Just play that out a bit and try and get the extra damage in with level 10 abilities. Hoarder pulled is now used. Anything but 7-sided strike would absolutely floor me. Going for Palm, for example. They go Palm! What? I would have bet money, tons of money, that they go 7-sided strike here. Divine Shield and Palm. What is happening? Even more sustain? I could have sworn they would try to go for damage. Granted, they don't have Garrosh for an isolation play or anything here. But, woof. A good monk palms himself, we all know that. But damn, still did not have that on the agenda here. So, they went Palm. And they went Divine Shield. Not even a stun here. Let's see how this is gonna play in the team fights. I thought they could have used that extra damage, but Palm it is indeed. So, 4 kills to 2. Now, Urel moving back out towards the top lane. And over in the middle, Dino. Yeah, good damage again still from him. Talking about damage from Dino, he's currently sitting at 22,000. Chromio, of course, a little bit ahead with the 28k that she brings in. But still, solid damage from Dino. I mean, specifically talking about all of the support he's getting now too. We have still 10,000 from Hogger. But the damage differences are obviously crazy. You look over to Sylvanas and Chromia and look how much damage the two of them have done. And then on the opposite side. But they take another cap. It's just that insane amount of sustain that they have here that doesn't allow the red team to get any kills for now. Ah, so I thought. And then Stukov, dumm gelaufen, walks off into the wrong direction and gets immediately killed. Chromie falls on the other side though, so Chromie is actually going down quite often here. There's now 2 heroes that they just lost. There's also some pumpkins that are still moving through the lane, and we have the skulls back up on the map. Or in the lower parts of the map. Which immediately triggers another move from the blue team, and this time there's a response. This time there is an actual response. I said earlier already that once that the golem starts scaling a little bit, you really have to start going into the lower level and get your own set of skulls. And this is something that the team in red is now starting to do. So Team Ash is trying to get some skulls together here. We have 36 to 33 right now, so they're already doing way better than the last one. You just can't let that slide for too long. Eventually that golem is going to do too much damage. And already there's a very nice point in arguing that the first one has already done a whole lot, because again they took one fort out, which is big. 36 to 34. Uther a bit in the back. Chromie captures it, and that's a kill. Benny gone. So now we have 4 kills to 5. So yeah, that is looking a little bit better for them right now. With Uther gone, that's a 4 versus 5 and something that they don't want to battle. So the golem is taken, the skulls are claimed by Team Ash. Yeah, and of course, slowly and steadily, gotta ask yourself if maybe the Exodia stack has overdone it a bit when they thought they could just simply come in and continue finishing off the bounties. It's 5 kills to 4, they're still a bit ahead in experience and also in structures. So the lead goes to them, but that last fight after Uther was taken down was, of course, a big win for the red team. Now they have 64 to 36 on the skull count, the bigger golem, and they have Sylvanas. And that is going to be the important part. Can they, with Sylvanas, now push? I mean, the blue team is trying to shut it down by killing Anna. Big dive by them, and absolutely worth it. That was glorious. Taking Anna down here and eliminating the support was actually big. If there's no quick counter kill happening, then they can kiss that push goodbye. And that would be very annoying. Sylvanas is dead, and oh my god, yeah. With Sylvanas falling, it's guaranteed that this is not going to be successful for them. Even Chromie falls. So while the golem is moving in, Chromie is gone, Sylvanas is gone. Just utter destruction on the side of Team Ash. Losing way too much ground on this and suffering the consequences. So yeah, 8 kills to 4. The golem of the blue team at the bottom of the map might at the end of the day do more damage than the bad boy at the top. Maybe not quite, but yeah, you know what I'm getting at. This was not, despite the fact that they were ahead on the skull count, this has not done as much for them as they hoped for. They took a fort out, that's nice. But they lost too many heroes in the process. They've fallen farther behind in experience, and they essentially lost the fort at the bottom of the map too. It will be taken out one way or another. Somebody's going to jump in here, deliver the final blow, and destroy the bot lane fort. So, times are tough. Times are very, very tough for the red team. We had 42,000 for Chromie in the damage numbers, and 34,000 for Afia. Game number 1 in the grand final. Nice back and forth initially, but now the team fights are starting to look better and better for the blue team. No, they just lost their second fort, so in structures it's still a race, but in experience the lead has been taken. And that could be dicey around the next skull setup, because now level 16 is getting a bit closer here for the blue team. And they definitely know how to run with these talent advantages. They've already done it before. And it seems like they're also trapping a little bit, trying to move, or the red team is trying to move through the mines to move out of vision here. Benny, can they grab him? Yeah, Chromie gets the ult. Blessed Shield is in. And maybe a kill. Palm is already out. They save Benny. But their kill against Bishops is dropping Sylvanas, and therefore one of the key heroes on the side of the red team. They're even losing Ana again. It's the Exodia stack with level 16 talents. Now we're also getting the way of 100 fists, and they are crushing it. Once again with big plays being made here. They are on the way of potentially locking in a third bounty already. So, yep. 10 to 4 on the kill count. And they are just running the show. Dino and his entire team are already ready down in the bottom of the mines even before the camp spawn, and they're timing this perfectly. They're just using the window that they have to the perfect degree. Not only did they get level 16 talents, but they also were able to move into the mines just in time for this. So before anything happens, before even anybody moves down into the lower level from Team Ash, we are having a huge lead for the blue team, which they can now very easily translate into a massive golem that they can use to push. And what is left for Team Ash but trying to throw a couple of Hail Marys there that could potentially bring them back here? It's gonna be a really difficult battle one way or another, but they have to risk something. They're now sending Sun down to the bottom of the map as the big boy is being targeted. So that might help slightly, but even that is a tricky position. We have only one skull taken so far from the red team, and I don't think they're gonna get too many more here. Dead inside on Urel is getting pushed back out, and they're just split now. So they're even split on two sides of that fight. If the red team, if Team Ash can somehow do this, they got level 60 now as well. Now, Uther goes down. Well, that might be the opportunity to take those skulls. Uther is down. That's good news. They're trying for a follow-up. Dino is about to be eliminated. Can he escape? Nice dodge, and that's the end of Ophia. So all of a sudden, Team Ash in the driver's seat, at least in this team fight. Urel still falls, but they're hoping to follow up on more, I would guess. Yeah, careful of 3 versus 3 right now. Jojo's coming in from behind. Has no blessed shield, but Condemn. Palm gets procced. Nice. Good timing from Yasu. They try and go for Ana. Renella on Hawkeye is the first one to fall in the battle. Now Stukov is dead too. So that's 2 heroes destroyed on the blue team side. They're trying to go for Karazim as well. Might not be able to grab him here. Blessed shield is back in 2 seconds. They're gonna bank on the blessed shield. Yeah, they're gonna bank on the blessed shield at some point. Don't even have to. Karazim is gone too, and that is essentially a 5-man team vibe. They killed all of them at one point or another. Big golem, of course, at the top lane, so they have to defend. Despite the fact that they just killed so many heroes and caught up in experience, they need to deal with the top lane pressure first, simply because it would destroy the keep otherwise. So the whole idea, the whole goal here is to ensure that the keep is not gonna get completely wrecked here. So, yeah, that one, Johanna, overstaying at the bottom of the map to slow them down a bit and then getting caught there. So she's gone. At least they saved the keep at the top. Experience has been more or less negated. Level 18 for both of them. Close. Not there yet, but getting real close. And with 12 kills, 2-9. We now have, of course, both of them also getting a little bit closer to 20, which is going to be our next talent tier here. Chromia 64,000 damage, Ophia is sitting on 50. Seems like the blue team is thinking about sieging up at the top lane a bit in an attempt to get themselves the first keep of the game. Not really a bad thought. This is exactly where they're headed right now, and exactly the play that, of course, would help them a lot if they can execute it. But everybody is there for defense. It's kind of wild to me when you think about it, because so far Sylvanas has not really had the impact that we all thought she would have. There wasn't a big golem push with Sylvanas. The blue team forced the fight past the golem in the earlier one and was able to take Sylvanas down, so that was pretty important. First it was Ana that fell, and then Sylvanas shortly after. But if there is ever a push with Sylvanas, you can kiss those structures goodbye. I mean, just only keep standing, but still. So once again, the play for the point, but the sustain is there, and it gets taken. Lopaka! Jojo is dead. Karazim trying to escape here after the palm didn't proc, and is able to easily move away. Gets a divine shield for good measure. They go for Chromie, and she gets slapped by Dino. So, that's the end of Chromie, and now all of a sudden the bot lane is wide open. Wide open here. Now they can go for a keep. I mean, there's only 2 defenders. There's only Sylvanas and Urel that you have in order to defend all of this. Nothing else still standing. And that is disastrous for them. So the keep will fall. What a play again from the Exodia stack. Exodia stack with absolute big moves. And they are going for the core. Already heavily getting pinged. This seems like it's going to be the third thingy for them. The third bounty. Yep, they go for Urel, trying to take her out as well. She's already moving back. To be fair, the death timers are there. So we'll see what else they can go. Can they maybe defend? Death Timer's low. Team coming back. 50% on the core. Level 20 is available though. With level 20, we are also getting, in this case, the Fist of Legend. And it looks like a legendary victory here. 1-0 lead in the best of 5 and a third bounty completed for the Exodia stack.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
So apparently the Exodia stack decided that they're going to play a bounty every single game until they lose and try to get as many of them as possible. Definitely a good approach, I gotta say. Bounties are going to get harder and harder and harder as they complete more, but they've already completed 3. There's only qualifier number 1 and they've already locked in 3 bounties. They completed the Nova bounty, they completed the Abathur Monstrosity bounty, and they just locked in the triple healer bounty. Now, once again, to just give you guys a bit of an idea, these are the bounties that the teams can go for. So there are still a couple of choices that is specifically in the context of Exodia stack running players like Dino I could absolutely see. One, for example, would be Khaldor, could be potentially played here. We could hunt Illidan is something that is fairly easy to complete as well. Maybe not the perfect map that we're heading in right now for it. Tomb of the Spider Queen is by definition a bit smaller, but Illidan is definitely a hero that you can play. And maybe a no healer composition and just going for the Abathur support and occasionally throwing Zarya in could also be interesting. Either way, as it stands, the Exodia stack is definitely trying to get a huge chunk out of that bounty prize pool. Now, quick reminder, $1,000 go to the normal tournament prize pool, $1,000 go to the bounty pool. And with the amount that they are completing right now, they're looking pretty darn good here. Now, Team Ash, for them, it's going to be more so about winning a map here. But of course, if they see an opportunity, they're going to go for it too. Starting things off with Junkrat for Hazu. Map choice was, by the way, made by Team Ash. So the losing team usually decides which map is... Well, if they want to have map choice or if they want to have first pick. And they decided that they want to have map choice. And they locked in Tomb of the Spider Queen quickly. But... it's a little bit crazy. Exodia stack is dominant right now. And here we get Malfurion and we get Tracer. So, deciding right at the beginning already that they want to play a Tracer composition and running Malfurion against it. The one thing that is fairly constant is that Ultralisk's Maiev is being banned out. Even when they have first pick, first ban, they have no real interest in picking Maiev this high as a priority for themselves. But they are totally willing to accept that it might be something that Ultralisk is willing to do on the red team. Varian and Dehaka. So Bad Benny goes back to one of his oldies but goldies. He played for a long time nothing else but Varian. And now that they're going up against Tracer, stands of course to reason that you can definitely do it. Which, when we're talking about bounties, leads us more into something like Khaldor. And again, wouldn't shock me. Dino has been playing some of those heroes in the past already. This is a map where you can definitely make those moves. So, could be something. Very squishy, obviously, and has to be careful of Tracer, but if you have Varian next to you for a couple of slows, Copenhagen and SDHK play, of course, is also fairly insane, so that's another thing. But yeah, time will tell, I suppose. Now again, quick reminder, heroes can be played once per series. Final ban after we just saw Brightwing also taken out. What are they even worried about here? Okay, Muradin. They banned one of the tanks out. They're gonna be playing a bounty 100%. I mean, they've been doing it the entire day. Why would they stop now? They have the lead already in the best of 5. I mean, granted. But I think it's just at this point a personal challenge that they put onto themselves for Qualifier 1, where they just said, you know what, guys, we're gonna try a bounty every single time. Until it doesn't work anymore. And to be fair, completing 3 bounties is already securing you a decent chunk of prize money. So, no matter what happens here, it already worked. Gul'dan, Rexa are now both getting picked. That leaves us with Lopaka as our final player to choose for Team Ash. Technically, they could also go for, of course, a Varian variation. Put another tank in and play Varian as a bruiser. That would give them a bounty. That's a bit far out maybe, but again, technically possible. There's Kel'Thuzad, called it. Kel'Thuzad and Whitemane. I told you so. Kel'Thuzad would be played by Dino. That's exactly what he does now. And, well, in that context, what is Lopaka now going to choose as his main tank? Bounty attempt number 4. Crazy. Alright. Stitches. They go for Stitches. And off we go. Tomb of the Spider Queen, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2. Let's see if the Exodia stack can pull it off again, or if Team Ash is finally putting a stop to the bounty shenanigans from the blue team. The second game in the best of 5 here at the first qualifier of the Murky Cup, the grand final. On the left with bounty attempt number 4. Copenhagen on Dehaka, Dainu on Kel'Thuzad. We get Hazops on Junkrat, Bad Benny on Varian, and Yazu on Whitemane. On the right side of the map, Renella for Team Ash with Malfurion. They go for Bishops with Tracer. Miriale playing on the Countdown for Life today with Gul'dan. We got Dead Inside on Rexa and Lopaka on Stitches. So, here we go. They are going for bounty after bounty after bounty. And again, at some point they're going to get a bit more difficult, but once that I saw the map, it was at least highly likely that Dino would go for exactly what we're seeing here. Simply because it is something he has done in the past, in the context of other tournaments sometimes, granted, but it's something that they can be fairly strong with. So, is it going to be another game where they are able to lock a bounty in? Is this going to be successful for them with the Kel'Thuzad plays that they're clearly trying to pull off here? I mean, time will tell, but it is already wild to me that they were able to complete this many bounties in the first place on day number 1, or qualifier number 1. And yeah, we're just continuing with that. So, down at the bottom, a little bit of poke happening already as they're slowly starting to make a few moves here. Middle of the map is where the rotation's headed. Lopaka is going to be the one trying to get a couple of hooks connected as all of this continues. And yeah, the question then of course still remains, can they follow up on that properly, make their plays with that? I mean, you're looking at damage from Gul'dan, you're looking at the root from Malfurion, which is of course going to be absolutely crucial in order to follow up with proper damage. Then you have Tracer that can move that out later on in the fight when we're looking at 5 versus 5 battles. It's also the follow-up with Rexa and Misha that they can use too. Which they will have to use, of course. But, yeah. Camps are being taken right now. Stitches at the top. They're trying to defend here. And you gotta be really careful once that level 4 talent kicks in for our boy Varian, because at that point you are definitely gonna be in for a party. He's gonna try and just taunt out squishies like Malfurion, like Tracer whenever they can. And then it is up to the blue team to properly follow up on these moves and take targets down. And you have now also, of course, Kel'Thuzad. So as he starts to stack his baseline to try and get the additional spell power here, he can really become a nuisance and can also easily follow up on these taunts if he's part of the mix. So we're going to see more and more of that, I suppose. Already we have Kel'Thuzad moving in from the top. Benny sitting tight there, but just lane control for Nidon for now. So, gems are being collected, everybody is going through the early game motions, camps have already been claimed, little bit of a move in the middle as they're trying to go for down for life. Taunt has already been used previously and that tees up Kel'Thuzad every single time. So something they're going to use as much as they possibly can here. Now Dino already working on the turn and Hazops is doing the same thing here too. But the hook connects, the root didn't though. So yeah, the root didn't do anything for them here. The tongue, nice, the kill against Malfurion. Finally Renella gets crushed. Now they go for Misha. Misha is gone. Lopaka also barely escaping through the gate here. Big attacks coming in from the blue team. They're looking absolutely glorious here from the get-go. 1 kill plus Misha is what they were able to pull off here so far. And now they might even be able to go for the first turn in and set that up. They don't have enough gems yet, but they're getting dangerously close, and now they have them. So if we get the early web weavers here, the blue team could once again take control of the game in the early stages. Khaldor is really nice when you're sieging up into somebody, and already that stacking up of the baseline is pretty neat. That, on the other hand, is a death sentence for Dino. When he gets hooked like that and rooted, there's absolutely no saving him. At least not right now. White main tried and failed. The blue team has web weavers descending, and Khaldor should be back in time to chip in some damage and help the team out. But that was exactly the hook that was needed. And they're getting another one! Hazu, no chance. Lopaka, all of a sudden, beastnit like a big boy. I like it. Those hooks are nasty, damn. That's a double kill against the damage dealers of the blue team. Doesn't get much better than that. Gets another hook. That's 3 in a row that he connected perfectly with heroes. Is that the third kill? Probably not. But still, forcing Copenhagen to push the essence out. So, those web weavers didn't really do too much. Not a whole lot of value from the web weaver plays that they just executed here. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for them. Up at the top, Dino, Benny, everybody still pushing for at least one fort. They want to get some value out of this. I suppose they still can here. But Stitches could be the game changer for them as this plays on. Oh, there's the taunt, and boy, yeah, Malfurion finds himself definitely in the wrong spot for this. And now they're losing Stitches too. That's 24 gems gone, and they're safeguarding them. They're even taking the fort down. Just as you thought, alright, maybe, just maybe, Team Ash now has found the answer. The hooks of Lopaka that allow them to draw even with the opponent. Just as you think that their gems are being taken away from them, and they're losing a mad amount of ground because they're losing a few more heroes. Now Tracer is getting hit hard, is dead too. We have 15 stacks for Khaldor, so already he gets the Glacial Spike, and we're working towards the added spell power. And they have level 10. I mean, it's not only that, it's a half a level that we see as a gap. Level 10 is there. And that is now going to allow them to do even more work in that window. They don't... No, they are getting close to having enough gems for another turn in, so they could slowly get to that point. Another hook connects, and Benny is starting to drop a little bit low here. And now having down at the bottom of the map, Dead Inside just moving back in again. Copenhagen sitting tight and pushing the lane out. Level 10 gives us Gorge for the red team. So if those hooks connect like they did previously, then they should be able to get some kills. The problem is they don't have any gates left. Unless we're pushing for keeps. Turn in of Yasuo happens. So White main is quickly moving out of the hook range. We're just going to be extended with 13 as well. So that's another one that they're really looking towards so that they can make this more annoying even. So, yeah. Play at the bottom of the map. Try to make another move over here. So far, really let anything like that really work for them. Maybe now as they're going for the Haka again. Another hook connecting. They're trying also for Rexa. Copenhagen, he's the one to fall. Copenhagen falls, he's gone, and the blue web weavers are descending. This is actually the second time that they are getting a set of web weavers, and just at the same moment as that happens, they're starting to lose one of their players. So, yeah, a little bit annoying for sure, the way that this plays out for them. And the death timers this time are increased enough that they're not going to have the hero in time. So, yep, a little bit annoying. Bit of a problem here. Makes it much easier to defend for the red team. Great, of course, for them. Hook still being YOLO'd out now. With the first set of web weavers, they were at least able to take one of the forts down. Now they're trying again in the middle. So they're making another move for that. And, well, they are slowly getting there. Look at that. Able to go for Bad Benny. And, yep, there it is. The hook hits hard against Yasuo, and that's another kill. Yep, Yasuo's dead too. They are fighting tooth and nail, honestly. They are still pinned down a bit by all those web weavers, but it's just glorious to see these hooks of Lopaka come through time and time again. I mean, the man is not giving up in the slightest. He's absolutely crushing it like a boss here, but they're still losing ground because the objective is pushing on the other lanes. They haven't lost another fort yet, so that's the good news. Nice kill also from Bishops here, so Tracer is able to grab them another one. So they're doing work. 6 kills to 4 now. Even a lead in experience as a reward. If they can finally turn it... They haven't delivered a single gem yet. Not one. Not one gem. But now they finally have an opportunity, you know, also with the hook range extension that they run. So that's another play that they can possibly make. Gorgeous use straight into the root. So here's the moment right now. Let's see. Khaldor is a little bit low. Can they kill him? No, not yet. Tranquility. Gul'dan comes in. So does Rexa. The Orcs are approaching from the top. Another hook against Dino. Khaldor is dead. Yasuo is dead. There's the Horrify. Beautiful plays now being executed. Really beautiful plays, and it helps them to go for a couple more kills. Look at that hook. Perfectly timed, the perfect angle. Red Web Beavers are in as well. Now the lead in experience goes to the red team. They are pulling farther ahead here, and they're now taking some structures out as well. So maybe going for Khaldor in this case was a little bit too much. They're trying four bounties in a row. And maybe this is the moment where things are starting to... Where their streak ends. Where it gets stopped. Not there yet. Not slowly. 9 kills to 4 now. And this is a 1.5 level lead in experience. So pretty big one that they're currently running here. That could really do... I mean, this could go far for them. They have taken down the fort at the bottom of the map. The lane is still being pushed. Same time now we're seeing the play up at the top for another fort. Middle of the map, similar situation. Just Khaldor defending and trying to stay out of range of the hooks, or always putting the fort between himself and Stitches. The bottom keep, by the way, has taken damage, and not just a little bit. That Web Weaver... Holy hell. This is actually looking like they might lose the entire thing. I think the Haka can barely save it, but that's nuts. Think about that for a second. They went through the bottom fort, destroyed the wall, and nearly destroyed the keep. I think the blue team heavily underestimated how much damage that bad boy would do. That wave did wonders for them. Now we have level 16, nearly ready. Another big hook thrown out here. Not hitting anything. And now the fort here gets destroyed. So in forts they're even. Actually even in structures completely. It's just like the bottom keep will likely fall whenever anybody touches it. Dino, they target him again. He's the squishy. He's the weak point. And they drop him once more. But the quest is at least completed. Renella, slowed, still alive, and makes it out. Renella is alive. The Haka is dead too. Now they go for Benny again. Another big hook, and Hazu dies. Hazu is dead too. Varian is dead. 5-man team wipe. Everybody gone. They killed everyone. And now, what's the play? Get the turn in, go for boss, go for keep at the bottom of the map. Will fall anyways. They have so much wiggle room here now. They're just taking them down wherever they stand now. This is exactly the kind of play, the aggressive moves that we are so used to see from Team Ash. And currently they're working against Exodia stack. So, nicely done. Blue team is now quite behind. 14 kills to 5. 16 talents. Are half a level away. Red Web Beavers are going to touch ground. We are going to see the bottom keep destroyed. The only question is how much more can they do. And it seems like at the top lane, even only 12 minutes in, they might just be able to go for another keep. This could be a 2-keep play, which would absolutely pin the blue team down in their own base. Definitely not a spot that you want to be in. But well, that might be exactly what's going to happen here. So, as it stands, we're having the attack. This is keep 100%. I mean, again, it's not even close. It's not even close. Riptire is already out. Can't even rely on that as an option any longer. Yeah, Bishop's already jumping out. Khaldor tried with the ult. Even that didn't work enough to pin Tracer down here. And the keep at the top falls. Keep at the bottom of the map is also about to go down. They could go for game if they are getting kills now. And they gorge the Haka. They're trying to get some connects. Core is getting attacked. Shield is falling slowly. Web Weavers from the bottom. This should be game. This is Winion time alone. Helping hand to save Gul'dan. The core is losing hit points. And is losing them actually fairly quickly. But they're not pushing for it. They're deciding they don't want to risk it. There's a lot of damage on the core. It's down to 63%. But they haven't made a move for it. They know that the death timers are low. They know that it's early on in the game. The Haka tunneling in, trying to connect another Tong and drag them back into the fight. But it didn't happen. Tracer on 45,000 damage. 35,000 now for Junkrat as the top damage dealer of the blue team. But, yeah. Kinda nasty. I mean, honestly, the helping hand that we saw earlier, I think it was Khaldor that was saved by Lopaka, was also just bonkers. So many good plays in this game. Oh my god, Dainu! Whoa! Nearly walked into that hook. Didn't see it, obviously, but yeah, that was not a lot. And it could have been another kill against Khaldor. 2 levels ahead now. Yep, they get Varian. There's Gorge. A little bit of a gap will use by Khaldor, but Varian is about to die. I don't think they can save him, can they? They're trying with Whitemane. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. Bad Benny's still alive, but it's Whitemane that falls instead, and Varian is still low, but is able to move away. Totally useless for the rest of the fight, though. I don't think that he is going to have another impact here. Maybe if he's willing to dart forward and taunt another target, if they think they can take it down. But yeah, they're all just running. They're getting pinned down from all sides. Tracer's already on Khaldor. Varian is about to go down, and this is likely going to be game. Varian down, Junkrat down, Haka down. Now they're chasing Dainu. He's the only survivor here, and that's a 5-man team wipe. And not the first one. And of course, it is the conclusion of the game here. Job well done. Looking really, really good here. And, well, that's the end of the streak. They tried a bounty in every single game. Now it got shut down. Game number 2 goes to Team Ash as the Exodia stack loses on Tomb of the Spider Queen here at the Grand Final. GG. Well played. Game number 3, Towers of Doom, everybody. So, the series is tied. The streak has been broken after they went on an absolute rampage with bounties. The streak has now been broken. And the question, of course, that I have is if that does deter the Exodia stack or if it just makes them more determined. If they're now coming in and saying like, you know what, whatever. We're immediately going in and we are going to use Khaldor again, use a different bounty, and try to complete a 4th. So I'm not quite sure what exactly their game plan was, but so far they have already played a highly successful first qualifier. No matter what happens here, even if they end up as 2nd place in this, they lock in a decent amount of points for the leaderboard in order to qualify for the playoffs. And of course, completing 3 bounties already is pretty big. It's huge. That gives you a lot of tickets. Now, the Murky bounty has not been completed yet. That's something that some of the teams might still look at. Because keep in mind, the Murky bounty gives you 3 bounty tickets. This is the Murky Cup after all. Hanzo banned, Murden banned. Heroes, we are in game 3, so that means 20 heroes are currently unavailable because they have already been played before. So keep that in mind. And the Vikings get banned as well. I mean, it's Towers of Doom after all, and you're playing against Exodia stack. Doesn't shock me too much. Now, the question that is still remaining a little bit is, it would be amazing for them if they could play Stitches again, I guess, because Lopaka really did a number on the blue team. And if you could play him again on Towers of Doom, I think there's a fair chance that he would have tried that, or would try that. But, yeah. Right now, we'll see. So, Illidan gets banned. Okay! Yeah, we have a bounty for Illidan, obviously, as well. Hunt Illidan, but still, that they're banning him out. Why would you ban Illidan? If anything, I could have seen Exodia stack try and play Illidan and lock another bounty in. What exactly is going to be their pick that they're looking at Illidan and saying, okay, we're worried about this? Could of course be that they scrimmed against Team Ash, and Team Ash on this map played Illidan in preparation for the tournament. But, well, we get Lucio as our starting pick. And for the blue team... Abathar and Blaze. Huh. Okay. So we get Abathar again. Keep in mind, they completed already the monstrosity bounty. So there's no more bounty that they can get with Abathar. But if you go into that particular opening, then locking in, let's say, Greymane could definitely work for them. Greymane, Jaina would be your traditional picks to get the copy going with Abathar. I suppose you could go Samuro. And we already have a Nubarak and Leoric on the other side, so more of an engaged comp that they are playing. Huh! Alright. I am kind of curious now. Especially what Dino is going to pick here. And if they're still going to try some kind of bounty. With Abbott... Oh, they could go for a no healer bounty. That's actually true. They could go no healer. Abathar counts. Blaze has a bunker. You could go for more heroes that have self-sustain. I mean, even shields. I mean, Zarya, for example, brings shields. So this could be a no support bounty. Again, always making here some assumptions because they have been using a lot of bounties so far. Huh. Alright. Genji gets banned. Yeah, Genji Abathar obviously is super annoying as well. The symbiote alone is already making this a total disaster. But you still have Greymane up on the other side if you wanted to. But as I said, no healer. Abathar as a solo heal is actually possible. Was played rarely, but even in the days of HGC we had a couple of games like that. So. Tyrael, Shields, and Phoenix. Guys, I think we're gonna get a no healer comp. Look at this. Shields from Phoenix, Shields from Tyrael, Blaze with the bunker, and the self heal. Abathar, this is looking more and more like we're gonna get a no heal. And honestly, I think Team Ash is also expecting that right now. Yasuo could always lock a support in, but I don't think it's happening. I think the Exodia stack is continuing exactly where they left off earlier. There's Imperius. We get Cassia. Triple frontline for them. And Yasuo is... I don't think we're going to get a healer here. I really, really, really don't think so. Samuro's in. Samuro, Abathar. There it is. Called it early. They're not going for a healer. It's a no healer comp. Another bounty attempt by the blue team. Towers of Doom, everybody. Let's go. Game number 3 in the best of 5 grand final. Who takes the lead?
Prepare yourself for battle.
Game number 3. We got the no healer composition for the Exodia stack, everybody. So not only do we have that, but we also have Abathar plus Samuro, which in and of itself is just absolutely mega annoying. Team Ash won on the last map, but right now another bounty attempt by the Exodia stack with Hazops on Blaze. We got Bad Benny on Tyrael, Copenhagen on Samuro, Yasuo on Abathar, and Dainu is playing Phoenix for the blue team. Over on the right side of the map, Team Ash with Bishops on Imperius, the triple front line with Lopaka on Anubarak, and Dead Inside on Leoric. They're getting Miriale on Cassia, and Renella is playing Lucio for the team. So, well, off to the races on this one. That's gonna be fun. This is definitely gonna be fun. Oh, a couple of things that I for sure did not expect in that context. But again, this solo heal variation that they're currently running here can absolutely work. I mean, absolutely. So, first Phoenix is getting killed here. Phoenix is gone. That's the first one. I mean, we'll see a little bit on how it works out for them, but you can run Abathar as a solo support. Not only do you have Abathar to give you at least some sustain and shields, you have Phoenix that works with the shield mechanic, you have Tyrael also granting a shield, Blaze with the bunker, the self-heal that he provides, and then Samuro is just rushing away and doing his thing all day, every day. So definitely an interesting little situation that we got in front of ourselves here, where it's quite clear that the Exodia stack is just attempting to lock in as many bounties today as they possibly can. Bit of an attack at the top now also happening, as they're still trying to see if they can take that inside out, for example. And down at the bottom of the map, the red team is now starting to push. I mean, they obviously realize what's happening here too throughout the entire series, and they're trying to capitalize on it now. They lost on game number 1, but now they are really trying to use that aggressive playstyle of theirs to get ahead early, and that's the best thing that they can do. This is a comeback map. This is a map where it's always possible to come back into the game in the late game when the death timers are high, if you're scaling properly. But obviously only to a certain extent. And if you have an opponent that really just snowballs you, it can get tough. That's kind of what we're seeing right now, that attempt to snowball the opponent. Take another camp. Top side, of course, getting pressured. Leo is defending alone against 2. If you go on Abathar, then it's kind of 3, I suppose. So some assistance is needed. If not, then it's just a matter of who takes the opponent's structures out faster. Yeah, and they might even get a kill here. Bishops is moving in. Tries to get the connect on Dino. And yeah, Dino's in real trouble here. And is dead. Nice! Drained to death by Leoric. Good shit. That was actually pretty cool. So a death drain from Leo. Didn't even need Imperius. And down here at the bottom of the map, of course, similar picture in the sense that we're now seeing them go for the bell tower too and try to set the conversion up slowly. Interrupt against Hazu's channel, but it was a bait all along. How to kill yourself in 3 easy steps. Right there. First, get baited, then overextend. So, yeah. I don't really think that was an intentional bait, but that definitely backfired very quickly. I can understand the impulse though. If you see an opponent that is trying to escape from you, of course you want to stop them. Even if you don't think that you get the kill, just stopping them and keeping them there for a bit longer and keeping them useless is always nice. But in this case, yeah, not doing a lot. 2 of the altars in favor of Team Ash. Doesn't shock me. Benny goes down, so they are going for kills. Level 7 talents now on both sides. Okay. So, that's the problem. Mule. Mule is the problem right now. It's definitely a situation that they somehow gotta deal with. And it will make things a lot more difficult for Team Ash. 17 stacks also for the Way of Illusion on Samuro's level 1. Yeah, and Samuro again, he's going to be a massive pain. It's not only Samuro, it's Samuro plus Abathar. That was already a super annoying composition during the HGC days when Monkey was playing it and Ethereal Angel picked it up to play with his team on Sky Temple back then, that particular comp. And it took a bit more than a week for the HGC teams to actually adjust to all of that. Until then, Samuro Abathar was just an absolute disaster to go up against. Now here they are at least able to chase him down and likely get the kill. So they still need a lot of resource in order to make it happen. And that gives wiggle room to the blue team at the bottom of the map that they use immediately to take on the wall and open up the fort here. So, yeah. Bit of attack here over in the middle. If you're not playing with healers, that means essentially that you're having a lot of damage. And they haven't really been able to leverage that so far. I mean, not really. They've been doing a couple of nice moves overall, but definitely not enough to have a massive impact here. They're not pulling ahead or anything. It's instead the red team that is now taking the lead in experience, the lead on the core, and is consistently attempting to convert a bell tower over and get some kills. It's Mule that really shuts them down there, but look at Copenhagen, for example. Yeah, immediately in trouble, goes down, but it leads to Blaze channeling the bottom altar. So out of the 2, they now lost 1. But talking about losing things, they lost Dino. So now Dino's gone. There's Cocoon, as they're trying to go for maybe Tyrael. Blaze jumped out, and there's not enough damage here. Can still go for Benny. Nubarak is a little bit low. Benny's not the only one here, though. Also got Hazu. But up at the top, that's where we have Leoric, so he's not with the team right now. But level 10 abilities definitely give them a chance to try and force a few more of these fights. So, yeah. Anyways, Up at the top. Well, with Abathar in the mix, you never really get a 1v1. We got the bubble, baby. Sound barrier. Bubble. And... yeah, ults on the other side, of course. Sanctification. Bunker. No surprises there. Leading experience is still not all that big. So, yeah, that experience gap is not as big as you might think there. But, well, they are going for the top now, and they're taking the bell tower out. It's actually interesting that it's the blue team that converts the first one over. It's really that Samuro play that's the most annoying. They're trying to get the kill, and they do. So, dead inside is gone. He's not only dead inside, he's also dead on the outside now. 6 kills to 2. Bell tower conversion. And boy, oh boy, we are definitely in a weird spot for the team in red. It kind of looked great at the start. It got 6 kills to 2, but it's not working out for them. It just isn't. They are desperately trying to somehow make a play, and they just can't really. They have moved for the bottom bell tower initially. That didn't quite work out for them. So now we're looking at a situation in which they lost bell tower control. There's only one on the map. I guess that's the saving grace here. But Abathar now has the copy, so they can actually engage in fights. And yes, they don't have a support, so they don't have any kind of long-term sustain that they can rely upon. But what they can definitely do is try and go for quick and nasty fights, leverage Samuro at the top lane in the meantime, and keep the opponent on their toes. So, yeah, it's going to be more than a little bit tough. Down at the bottom, Renella is channeling, and he's actually going to get it for the team. That's only 3 shots fired, but hey, better than nothing. Denying the 5 shots to the blue team is also, of course, worth quite a bit. Oh, talking about denying things. Sanctification denies the kill. Tyrael, alive. Neatly done. Cassia, I don't think she's going to make it, though. Whoa! Close call there. That Abathar copy nearly shut them down. So now we're having... oh my god, Anubaraki gets another Carapace out. Brrr, and dodges. Dainu with the attempt to use the Planet Cracker to drop Anubarak, and this didn't work for them either. This on the other hand is kind of cool. So yeah, the game is currently all over the place. The blue team in particular is of course trying to do whatever they can to confuse the opponent. Push for a couple of bell towers, lock in an altar. In this case, solo steal with the help of Abathar. Always granted. By Samuro. Few more shots fired, and now they're dead even in core points. Dead even. The Exodia stack in the attempt to get another bounty is now well, not dominated, but they're really doing a lot better all of a sudden on Towers of Doom. So they're not only starting to claw their way back into it, they nearly closed the gap in experience. We have them still in the lead on bell towers, which is actually big. Ideally, you want to have the bottom bell tower converted, but hey, top lane works too. Samuro then gets caught though. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of tough on the macro level to keep up with a team like the blue team here. But of course, when it comes to extended team fights, that's where Team Ash really has the upper hand. And this is what Team Ash is going to be fighting for. Try and force the blue team into positions where they have to fight long extended team fights, where they can use their healer as a big advantage and leverage that throughout the game. Now, delivery from Imperius. Yeah, where are the stuns here? And Tyrael is gone. Absolutely gone. Totally wrecked. No chance, no opportunity. Yasuo loses the copy. And Hazu was hoping to channel, but this time they don't leave him enough time. This time they paid attention. They saw what was happening and said like, no, dude. You already pulled that off once before. We're not going to fall for the same trick twice. Planet Cracker as an interrupt. Yeah, well, I guess that's one way to use a 100-second cooldown. Not quite sure what the goal behind that was. Interrupting them and annoying them a little bit, fair enough. But did he really think that would last? Look at that, by the way. We get the Beetlejuiced on level 16 now. Yeah, so even more sustain on that. And the Rejuvenescence, yeah. So, top side. They really want to hold this one. Abathar dropping mules now. Okay. Yeah. And down at the bottom of... Oh, Anubarak goes down at the bottom of the map. Against Abathar, actually. Level 16 on both sides. 31,000 damage for Phoenix. But they're just not letting go of that control that they have. 5 versus 3 bell towers. They're not pushing for anything else. It's all about Samuro and where he is and how much help he's gonna get from Abathar as all of that continues. But yeah, the action is definitely in right now. So they're making another play here in the middle. Jet propulsion of the copy connects beautifully. God, a follow-up there would have been so insane if they could have done that. But yeah, they broke the wall. They slowly move back. Samuro still holds the top. Now we have a triple altar phase. 22 points on the core against 24. And here's, of course, a big moment. Because now... oh, can they... Well, first of all, they're going for Blaze. They're stealing that. Sanctification is out. The camp is taken by the blue team, at least. But they're losing Benny in the process again. It's 9 kills to 3. That's the big problem when you're playing this. You have to go for short and decisive fights. You have to try and outmaneuver your opponent a little bit, but you can't go for any sustained battles, and they know it as well. So they just don't have their sustain for that. They have a couple of tools that can mask that, like a bunker or sanctification. But now 3 shots are fired, another 3 likely at the bottom of the map. The big advantage for the blue team is, of course, the simple fact that they have the bell tower advantage and had it now for such a long time. Yeah, so that's big. But they're getting another one. 19 to 16. That's the point count now on the core. Wild game. Weird game. And still that half-level lead in experience for Team Ash. So, down at the bottom of the map. Next little move for Lopaka. Anubarak dives back out and still alive and kicking. It's also a little bit strange when you're playing this right now. You want to have that CC chain going, but Imperius has to consistently help out too. So now he's back down to the bottom of the map, and they still want to take this. If they attack 2 structures on 2 different lanes, then it's harder for Abathar also to utilize Mule properly. I mean, the cooldown is significant. But they need to make a choice on how they want to play this. They also need to take a bell tower back. I really don't care if it's the bottom or the top one. But if they want to have a shot at winning, or not winning, but taking the lead in the best of 5, then Team Ash has to really step it up a bit. So here comes the jet propulsion again. Sanctification is out. And they go for Lopaka, and they again don't get him. Lopaka is able to escape. Lucio working overtime here. They go for Yasu, and they take the Abathar copy apart. So now 70 seconds for the cooldown. Leo at the top still fighting it out with Samuro. The 2 of them consistently locked into 1v1. And it is Copenhagen that wins it. And 3 more shots are being fired. 16 to 16 points now. Double altar is coming up. Down here they're also trying to win the fight. They're trying to go for bishops. Haas is low. Brrr. Cracker, not enough. Instead it's Teriel that falls. Teriel dies. Jet propulsion connect attempt, and the explosion is still coming through, but not killing anything. And now at the top, Copenhagen, he's gonna go for the channel, and that is 5 shots fired. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. They're gonna be down to single digits now. 11 to 16. Here comes Yasu with another channel, and that's gonna be 6 points on the core for the red team, for Team Ash. Now, Abathar gets murdered. The poor slugger is gone. And since we're now finally having a numbers advantage for the red team, what they decide to do is at least take the boss. 6 points to 12. It's gonna be something, I suppose. But yeah, they need bell towers. I can't believe how long that bell tower control has now been holding for them. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Insane bell tower control for such a long time. Now we're having, again, the quick bunker. Phoenix also in some trouble here. Blaze gets attacked and killed. 13 kills, 2, 4. And all the way up at the top still, this one only on half HP. So, level 20 talents. Finally a little bit of teamfight momentum that we at least get for the red team. But can they translate that over into an actual advantage in the game itself? And right now I have questions. With level 20, it's going to be difficult to make that happen in the first place. And Moro, of course, in that 1v1 against Leo is consistently getting some help from Abathur. That is definitely helpful. I'm talking Abathur, he's sitting at 37,000 damage himself. 57,000 on Phoenix. 43,000 on Cassia. Delivery, and yeah, it's not doing anything. Swaps out and goes straight for the next camp. That hero is so annoying when played well. It's absolutely bonkers. Totally bonkers. With the level 20 talent, we're getting Bossa Nova. And here come the upgrades for the Exodia stack. Big ones, by the way. Big upgrades, huge advantages. Now another channel at the bottom, and finally they have 4-4 bell towers. Finally, now we're talking. Cassia gets interrupted. Which is kind of funny, they're trying to force the fight up here. But yep, Cassia has to restart the channel, interrupted with the Planet Cracker. But the 4 shots are fired, and now both teams are on single digits. And Nubarak is gone, and Nubarak gets killed. They needed to get out of the fight without losing anybody, and they weren't able to pull it off. So now it's 5 kills to 13. Another big one at the top. They really, really hate Copenhagen, don't they? God, Samuro is such a pain. Such a pain. And then, of course, you have Abathur that always helps him and also mules up that bell tower again. Blue team is trying to retake the bottom left as best as they can. Not there yet. Well, actually talking about being there. Loses, like Hazu might be in trouble. Nah, he gets out. There was no Entomb. Maybe with Entomb, but he also had Bunker still available. So, yeah, not really a big deal or a big problem for them. But the bot lane, they have to hold on to it. If they can't recover their top lane, they need to hold on to this. Phoenix gets attacked. And with attacked, I mean he gets absolutely crushed. Decided on 20 to go into Singularity Charge and not the Unconquered Spirit. So, yep, he gets dropped. Murdered within seconds. Now they go for Copenhagen. Hazu gets hit hard by the Entomb, by the Buried Alive, and he's dead as well. Now that changes things. That's a double kill. 2 heroes down for roughly a minute, and 2 altars activate. This looks very like... This looks like game, honestly. Not gonna lie here, but this looks like it is gonna be a game. There's Pumpkins now traveling through the bot lane too. Team Ash might take the lead in the series. Yeah, for sure. All they gotta do is get the 2 channels through, and they definitely have a window where they can do that. Yeah, now it's over. Tyrael gone. Now it's over 100%. That was the kill earlier where Nubarak inted. So, yeah. Now it seems like they are able to finally pull it off. 4 shots already fired. The channel coming through the middle. And that is game. Nicely done. Team Ash taking the lead in the best of 5 series here at the grand final. GG. Game number 4, match point number 1, everybody. 2 wins in a row. Team Ash is in a position where they could win it right here. So, let's see. Should be interesting. Is the Exodia stack, after they now lost 2 bounty attempts in a row, finally saying, alright, we're behind. We need to change our MMO up a little bit and really focus on winning this. Or are they just saying, you know what, guys, it's qualifier number 1. Even if we take 2nd place, it's totally fine. We're going to continue with the bounties. We're going to lock in another bounty. We're going to try and see what we can do here. And if it fails, then we might not win this qualifier, but we still get plenty of points and we can participate in 5 others to ensure that we end up in the playoffs. So, I'm kind of curious. I want to see how this is going to work for them now. And how they are going to adjust to this. I can totally see them just try and go for bounties. Absolutely. Just saying, guys, we use the qualifiers to farm bounties more than anything else. Playoff spot for them is more or less guaranteed. If they participate in 3-4 of the qualifiers, I would assume that they will always be able to end up in the semifinals or the finals. So this team should qualify one way or another. It's obviously always, if you're a little bit too confident then or complacent, then it can backfire. But the fact alone that they're already in the grand final here is giving them a decent amount of points that they can leverage then later. And again, this is only the first qualifier of the Murky Cup. So, Rhaegar gets banned, Mirrodin got banned too. Things are also getting a little bit more interesting now with the heroes that are still available. What still can be picked, what was already picked. So, yeah. But right now, what I kind of want to know is what exactly is the blue team thinking in regards to bounties that they could possibly play here. It is Infernal Shrines. I mean, we can take a look at the board real quickly. So let's take a look at the bounty board. So right there, we have, for example, could I see Cho'Gall here? Probably not. Murky, not sure either. Maybe Kel'Thuzad again. You could go for some kind of Stitches. Nah, actually Stitches was already played, so Stitches Alexstrasza is obviously not working. Kel'Thuzad was played, so there's no way there. I think we're actually starting to run out a bit. Nidus Zagara, Hunt Illidan, Convection Kel'Thuzad. Convection Kel'Thas. There's a couple of things that you could still go for, but the air is getting a bit thinner, and as I say, they just go for Cho'Gall. Alright, first pick Cho'Gall. Now, percentage damage. Tychus is up. Vala is up. Zagara is up. Greymane. Was Greymane played? I don't think Greymane was played yet, right? So they're just signaling right from the get-go what they're willing to do. They go for the Cho'Gall bounty. Here comes Falstad and Sonya. Team Ash is fully aware what's going on. And they are going to try and outplay them here. Oh my god, honestly, the Exodia stack. It is, yeah. Every single game that they played, starting with the semifinals, they tried for a bounty. Lost twice, won 3 times. Now we're in game number 4. Yeah. This is gonna get wild. Yeah, now that they picked Falstad, you have obviously also a global available for yourself. Suppose they could ban out another support, and they do. They get rid of Auriel. Cho'Gall is going to be interesting here. Especially against... With this early of a pick priority, you obviously give your opponent all kinds of leverage to try and counter you. A little bit of percent damage would definitely do them well. One more range damage, Sheila. They go for Morales. We get Morales with Cho'Gall. Reyna is in. Oh my god. I mean, now they're really going deep on this, aren't they? Jimmy and Morales. I think the Exodia stack is having some fun here as well. And again, as I said previously, I think, yes, they want to go as far as they can in the tournament, but their priority today seems to really be lock-in bounties. Which is a fair strategy if you want to maximize how much money you make in the tournament. As long as you still qualify for the playoffs, of course. But I suppose that's something where they don't see a problem. Mei and Tychus. Mei at the front, Tychus for the percentage damage. And that leaves us with our final pick for the side lane. Morales, Jimmy, and Cho'Gall. Oh boy, if they take that. They've already completed 3 bounties, which is bonkers to me. Imagine them completing more. But you can already tell that things are getting more difficult for them. Now, final pick, Deathwing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Game number 4, first match point for Team Ash in the grand final of qualifier number 1 for the Murky Cup between Ash and the Exodia stack. Game number 4, match point number 1. Already an absolutely insane tournament. I mean, look at the games that we're getting here in the grand final. On the left, Hazu on Gal. We got Copenhagen on Cho for the Exodia stack. Yasu is playing Morales. And we're getting Reyna on Dino. Bad Benny on Deathwing. And then over on the right side of the map, it is Team Ash with Renella on Brightwing. Bishops on Falstad. Mei is playing Lopaka. Actually, the other way around. Lopaka is playing Mei. There we go. And we got Dead Inside on Sonya and Miriale on Tychus in game number 4. Alright, so apparently it was Tychus. Miriale was all of a sudden gone, but I'm absolutely okay to forgive him because he's riding the money pick, and every player that rides the money pick has a special place in my heart. So we have game number 4. Morales and Cho'Gall. QQ-Obs. Alright, that name is actually a little bit silly. It's kind of entertaining. Jimmy with level 1 Exterminator. That's also kind of interesting. That's not necessarily what I expected here, but I suppose when you're trying to go for the objective, that kind of makes some sense. We see you. Yeah, we see you too. The Calloused Hide are in as talents, and in the case of Mei, we're now getting the heat transfer as level 1. And on Tychus, we get an actual auto attack build, so he doesn't even go into any kind of grenade stuff, but immediately press the advantage as the level 1 talent. Normally when you go for that, we're getting in the rhythm, so you could go for the bigger they are, I suppose, but in this context, going for in the rhythm, trying to properly stack it up is definitely a possibility. Falstad and his boys, they already went down to the bottom of the map and took out Reyna, so Jimmy is the first one to fall, going for the Lauba channel here apparently at the bot lane. And yeah, Green Dragon. I'm okay with the skin. Benny playing it here. The black one is much better. As long as you don't go for the turkey skin, I'm totally fine. Just make him look like a big chicken, and nobody needs that. So, already some damage up against... Oh, they gotta be really careful here. Mokus Forales! Mokus! And they Mokused her. Okay, 2 kills to 0. Again, Cho'Gath was picked early, so they could counterplay that for sure. We're now having Furious Blow in as a level 1 talent, and I am very intrigued to see how this is going to play out for the Exodia stack. Dino is apparently also playing around the mercenary camps a bit with his level 1 talent choice. Allows him to easily take 1 away. But as Tychus is moving into the game, we'll see how much damage he can do here. I mean, Miriala is going to try and leverage that range increase. Now on level 4, what's the choice? What are we getting? It is in the rhythm. They're going for in the rhythm on this. Yeah, properly stacking that, especially at the beginning, is going to be important. Get 7 stacks through with the first charge. Not too bad. This might actually be a kill if they don't pay attention here. But yeah, Miriale has to also retreat from this. They got a couple of really nice tools in their arsenal right now. So Tychus will, as the game continues, become stronger and stronger against Cho'Gath. That's kind of the main idea here, and you can also use that later against Deathwing to an extent. But then, of course, on top of that, we have also Falstad. So you're running a global. Deathwing, yeah, can counterplay that maybe a little bit, but they are trying to also make sure that they're not A, getting out macroed, and B, that they're having the tools to out macro the opponent. Right now, what we get is stun and more stacks for Tychus. That's actually decent stacks for Tychus. That is nice stacks for Tychus. 17 very early, and the camp stolen away too. If they don't lose Sonya here, that would be a massive win. Sonya, low. Yeah, they're gonna lose her eventually, but they get a counter kill. They get a counter kill. They're trading. They stole the camp and then they trade. But Lopaka still falls, and it nearly makes it worse. But Dino also dies. Jesus, holy hell, what is happening here? Absolute disaster plays. Everybody dead or dying. More damage against Cho'Gath. Bishops will fall. Maybe not. Alright. Oh, he got interrupted. He got interrupted on the fly. Oh my god. Brightwing is now trying to escape, but what a battle! What? Captain Awkward says hello, he wants us fight back. That went crazy, from left to right, right to left, people jumping back in, Brightwing re-emerging, Morales coming back in and helping out. Good stacks for Tychus at least, he got a few more in the middle now, he's sitting at 28, it's not too bad this early in the game, we're only 4 minutes in. So yeah, Tychus is really working on this. As Dead Inside is still getting some nice connects with Cho'Gath here. That's the blow through. They're gonna get again at the top for Dino, and Reyna is dead again. 5 deaths now against the Exodia stack, and they're starting to lose the wall too. Now at the bottom of the map, talking about losing walls, the same is now happening to Team Ash as we have Cho'Gath plus Morales doing their thing. So it starts to become a bit of a race, the difference being that at the top we also have a shrine open, and that is being targeted by Sonya. So not only does the fort down here take damage, but the objective is also slowly going to be claimed. Down here, I guess they're going to get this one as well, unless Falstad tries to say hello. Couldn't really yet. But that's good damage. If they get the objective, they're definitely going to take that one. Level 7, by the way, we get the Relentless Soldier here now as well. So all about a bit more survivability for him. And at the bottom of the map, they make a play for Morales. The two heroes that they're really targeting in every single fight where they have a chance is Morales and Reyna. And that Morales made it out of that fight is just a fucking meme. Are you kidding me? Morales survived. What? Yeah, but Cho'Gall is now isolated. And that might be the end of Cho'Gall. A little bit of body blocking and... Whoa, no way. Alright, Cho'Gall makes it. By the way, the stacks on Tychus are pretty crazy. Considering how early in the game we are, the stacks here are pretty insane. And he is getting more and more and more and more. Look at that. He is burning them down. Yes, they're losing Brightwing here. But Tychus is at 75 stacks at the 6-minute mark. He's gonna have a massive minigun duration as this continues. A massive one. And he goes drill. And I absolutely understand drill here. So Morales already flying back out. They're trying to go for Cho'Gall, and this time they get the kill. Morales, in this case, going for... They could go backdoor. Actually, I think they're going backdoor. I think the idea here is to go Juice Pirates. They're trying 2 different bounties at the same time. They're literally trying 2 different bounties. They're gonna try... Now Jimmy makes also so much more sense. They don't have any kind of Tyrael play, but they're gonna try and backdoor. There's a very good chance this is a backdoor strategy. They are trying Cho'Gall plus a backdoor strategy. It's gonna happen eventually, just mark my words. But drill makes a lot of sense in this context. Drill was something that you played in the past when you went for in the rhythm. And then usually even within in the rhythm you didn't go for drill because you got way too much value out of Odin. But now given the fact that he is going to be the one that is going to try and take down Cho'Gall and Deathwing, they are going to drill it up just to make sure that they have this massive duration. He's at 87 stack. That's insane. It's insane. 7 minutes in. That stack amount is crazy. So, do we get a backdoor, yes or no? I personally think there's a good chance that they're gonna try it eventually, because Deathwing can jump in, they can use the Hyperion, and Cho'Gall is gonna do fantastic damage against structures. So, there is a chance that eventually they're gonna make a move like this. Why would you not go Stim Drone if not? With the other guy, what's his face? Reyna. So, I think this is what they're gonna try and do here. But Falstad has Gust, I'm not quite sure if that's gonna work for them. There's too many tools to deal with the backdoor. So I think it might... let me rephrase this a little bit. I don't think they're going to go for an all-in backdoor strategy, but I think backdooring at some point is part of the plan. So they're not going to just like YOLO in like you don't with a normal Juice Pirate strategy. Just go YOLO, YOLO, YOLO with Tyrael Sanctification. But a backdoor as an option at some point is definitely part of the equation here, with the way that they're currently playing this. They have the tools for it. On the other hand, I'm looking at Tychus with 30,000 damage already, and it's just terrifying to see how much damage he does. Look how quickly they're taking Cho'Gall down here. It's insane. Gets saved right now, but just that bit of a focus is burning him down so quickly that they have to instantly retreat from the fight. Molten Block is a nice tool to play against it a bit, but we're now 8.5 minutes in with 116 stacks. So his duration on the minigun is absolutely crazy. Or will be crazy as the game continues. With that, he's already sitting at 3 seconds. So, yeah. Easy peasy. It's gonna be big. Benny is also low. Benny is low as well. Another one that is struggling here a bit. Tries to burn this as much as he can. Does a great job with it too. Now we're having Deathwing getting absolutely crushed as he tried to fly out here. And the attack in the middle, yeah, they're going for the shrine, trying to claim this one here. 6 kills, 2-9. And, well, that of course, here comes the move for Jimmy again. Definitely a bit of a weak point, doesn't have a good escape tool. There's the Gust into the corner, Leap misses as a result, but it doesn't matter. They take Morales down first. Dino is gonna die eventually, I suppose. And here comes Cho'Gall. At least gets the kill against Falstad, but also has to be careful. Brightwing is now going up against him, and Dino is gonna die. It's just a matter of time. Gets killed by the Fruit Fly. They're back up on the shrine. Only Cho'Gall and Deathwing are still alive. And Tychus is going to try and deal with that as soon as he needs to. Brightwing is moving in. Here comes the damage. But they're trying to get the kill against Dead Inside. The turnaround. Molten Block is ready. Now the chance to take Cho'Gall down again. Cho'Gall! Is he gonna gonna go for a kill. Here comes Morales for the heals. Flying in big time. And they just can't get the kill. They just could not get the kill. And the blue team is actually gonna walk away with the objective. What an amount of sustain. Damn. They're getting it. They're actually getting it. Frozen Punisher is taken. And now they're pushing this through. Yup. Nicely done. Some camps still stolen. Level 16 talents are in. That gives us the sizzling attacks. But it's just crazy that they didn't lose that objective. It's crazy that Shogal survived. Also Morales with the perfect timing on the Medivac fly. Jimmy's now at the top. Down here they go for Morales again. This is just simply the problem. As the game continues, as we're getting into the late game, the death timers are going to be higher. And the way they're coordinating these attacks works well for them. Yeah, Dino's moving back out. Hearthing, not a problem. But he got some value there. And they defeat, of course, the Punisher. Oh, actually, Tigers is taking quite a bit of a beating. Is going to take it eventually and will then move back out. So, match point. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Dead inside, spin to win, get some Brightwing assist. Well, so I thought, and I thought wrong. But Benny is also gone, so it's a kill for a kill, make it 2. That's the end of Jimmy, and very, very nice snowball play from May. But, then, oh my god, he's actually alive! He still makes it! Morales is back for the heals, and Tychus is gone. Dropped by Cho'Gall. Holy hell, the Molten Block keeps him alive. Renella tries to get away here. It's all over the place again. Cho'Gall with the insane plays and 150 stacks for Tychus. 150 stacks. There's so much insanity in this game, I don't even know where to start. In forts, each team has now destroyed one. Cho'Gall is destroying the second one on the red team side in the middle now. We have Gal, we have Cho actually on more damage than Gal. Cho has more damage than Gal. He has 40,000 to 36,000. And top damage in the game is, no surprise, Tychus, who is capitalizing on all of this with his trade. Another fort about to be destroyed, and this is where Team Ash pulls ahead in structures by a massive margin. An absolute massive margin. And kills there behind. Inexperience there behind. They're still doing well here. Flying down to the bottom of the map. How does Cho'Gall, by the way, fit in that medivac? Once that he's in there, not only is there no space, you also don't want to be in there because it just smells too much. It's just what it is. Yeah, easy damage here. Yeah. Brightwing! Oh! And gets out. But yeah, they're trying for a couple... I mean, it's not like hardcore backdoors, but it's like trying to reposition on the map already to just leverage Cho'Gall's abilities to go for structures. Let's not forget, what the Cats have done multiple times right now in the past is that at level 20, they went for the death timer reduction and then just YOLO'd onto keeps, took the keeps out, just died, and it didn't matter because by the time the opponent crossed the map, they were already back and could defend. So that's something that the Exodia stack can do too. Let's not forget about that. Level 20 against Cho'Gall can be an absolute disaster on the macro level. Now there's Falstad with Gust, so that's at least one tool that they can use against that. But there are quite a lot of very annoying things that the Exodia stack can do in order to win this one and force game number 5. I'm not sure if Tychus is breaking a record here. 150 stacks. I might have seen more on ARAMs. I don't think I've ever seen more in an actual game. I don't really think so, to be honest. It's just crazy. So, already at the top, Bishop's moving back out. Now they are closing in on level 20. Level 20 any moment on this. And Benny wants to steal a few away, is able to get some. Should still be totally fine here. But yeah, they are chunking their thing down a bit. At the top, the fight still continues. The problem is still the structures. They haven't really pulled ahead in structures or anything. So, structurally, they're getting totally outplayed here. And now with level 20 talents, could get an interesting game too. I suppose we're going to get Wind Tunnel. That's going to help with the positional play during the team fights and also to get Cho'Gall out. But they want to get kills. That's what they're looking for. Yep, May is moving in. There's level 20. And it's Epic Mount. Epic Mount for Falstad. No Wind Tunnel. And we're getting the Bob and Weave. Bob and weave. Jeff taken. And it's time for some forts to be taken out. Jimmy has also taken another camp here. Just Dino not caring. PhD in PvE. That's what we're getting here. Easy moves. Here comes Falstad. They go for Bennu. But they can't get the kill. But they can drop him pretty low. Look at this. Here it is. I told you. They're going to go for backdoor moves like this one. And there it is. They're just going to backdoor the keep right now. Push past them. Go for core. And they're going to win that race. If they are going to go for a core race, they're going to win it. Here it is, right here. That's exactly what I called earlier, and they're trying to make that play. Now, there needs to be a few kills here. They need kills, and they need them quickly. They try to go for Cho'Gall, and he went for the cooldown reduction on the death timer. That's exactly what he did. Jimmy is down. Cho'Gall is dead. Morales is also going to die. Morales is dead too. Morales is also gone. Has gone into the upgrade with a safe zone, by the way. And now, of course, it's going to be a counter play over on the left side. They're going to try and go to end the game here. But Cho'Gall will be back. Cho'Gall will be back for the defense. They have to end now. They got to end now. If that happens again, it's just over. So what we're getting is execute orders for Jimmy. Again, death timer. They are all playing around the timers here. And I'm not sure if this is possible for Team Ash currently. I really don't know. Cho'Gall is back, Jimmy is back. How do you beat that? You can't. You can't beat the two of them that easily. It's not happening. Called the backdoor early, and here it is. So, right now, I don't think... I mean, as far as bounties goes, it's more a Cho'Gall bounty than a backdoor bounty. But, yeah, 35% on the core. You can't play around this. Morales is going to be back. All they got to do is fly. So, the red team is forced to fight. They are forced to. They have to end it here or it's over. And I don't think they can simply end it like this. Look at this. All the red team has to do is like play slow and then at some point fly over or let it leave like that. Nice, nice. That's a big one if they get it. Easy kill. Death timer is mega low though. One kill is in, but Cho'Gall is still alive and he's the big problem. In all sense of the matter. So, there it is, the damage. Falls in with a fly. Gets the gust. Morales into a corner. They need Cho'Gall to die, and he just doesn't. The core is falling a little bit, but not enough. 91%. It's not enough. Falstad is about to fall. Danny gets killed, and Bishops is somehow still alive. How the hell? Bishops, you monster. You're not human, dude. How did he make that happen? It doesn't matter though. Look at this. Jimmy is already back. Morales gets attacked. Cho'Gall, yep, tons and tons of damage. But it's not enough. And once they retreat, it's going to be eventually a knockout. 2 catapults on the keep. That's already nice. Down here, it's all about Cho'Gall. It's all about Morales. And both of them are still alive. If they can't kill one of the two, then they cannot win this game. And it's 20 seconds until Deathwing is back. Boy, is that annoying. There's the gas. They go for Jimmy. At least they can take him out. Jimmy is gone, but that's game. Here it is. This is it. They gotta win right now. They have no gust. They're half back. They're trying to defend. They don't have it. Leap is in. Leap! 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 No way! No, that's it. That's game. We're going game number 5. Team Ash loses on Inferno Shrines. GG. Well, we're heading to Garden of Terror, everybody. So, map number 5. It's actually happening. The Exodia stack locked in another bounty. They're definitely in a rush here, and it's honestly insane. Now, on the last map, again, we called a few of those things early, but towards the end, once that those level 20 talents kick in that reduce the death timer, it's very, very difficult to get a foothold, especially if you can go for a quick backdoor move with Morales. So, in a case like this where they complete 2 bounties at the same time, we actually give them the choice of which bounty they want to complete. You only can complete 1, not 2 on the same map. And they decided that they want to complete the backdoor bounty, which means that they saved Cho'Gall for another time. Now we're also in game number 5, which immediately brings, of course, to the forefront that we now have 40 heroes that can't be played anymore. So by default already, we're going to end up in a situation where the draft is really getting a bit spicy. This first qualifier was from the beginning way more than I expected. It's a weekday qualifier. We're on a Wednesday right now. We're basically moving to midnight or past midnight at this point. And I personally thought the entire time that we might get a couple of teams that sign up for one of the smaller qualifiers. It's summer. Some people are on vacation, on holidays. Instead, we're getting a full 8-man tournament bracket. And we have one insane game after another. Specifically when we're talking about the grand final here. Insane. Just crazy. So the Exodia is stacked now against Team Ash. And we have our final match. This is what it all comes down to. We're going to Garden of Terror. And we'll see who's going to be able to win this one. And drafts could get a bit wild at this point. So, let's see what exactly the Exodia stack is going to do this time. Because I have zero doubts that they are going to go for another bounty. And I more or less can already guarantee you this is going to be Longboat. I'm telling you, it's going to be Longboat. They're trying bounties. They get the Vikings here. It's a 5th map where the opponent is also forced into a couple of picks that they definitely don't necessarily want or would prefer others. And I think that we're going to get Longboat play. It's honestly, it's kind of bonkers to me. I like the way that they approach it. I really like the idea with what they came in here. And just saying like, guys, we're going to go bounties. We're going to go bounties. We're going to get a big chunk of that bounty pool right here today. And then others have to play catch up. And it's true. We have 5 bounties that have been completed already in total in this tournament. I think it's 5 in total. Or is it 6? I think we have 5 in total. Yeah, 5 in total. Which means if the tournament would end right now, Team Ash would get $200 out of the out of that bounty pool. And the Exodia stack 800. Pretty good. Again, only first qualifier. There's going to be a lot more that will happen. But it's already noteworthy that the Exodia stack is just switching their... I want to say their strategy for the qualifiers and just saying like, we're going to lock in bounties here. That's what we're starting up with. So, right now we get Maiev and we get Genji. Maiev has been banned pretty much every single game. Now they allow them to grab it quickly. Bishops takes her. We have Greymane also banned out. Garrosh, Anduin also still really nice comp that they currently are rocking. And yeah, then of course the question on what specifically the blue team is now taking. Because my opinion is we're going to get Vikings Longboat. This is something that has been discussed a couple of times in one of the previous tournaments, the Banshee Cup, where we ran a bounty system. But they've never really played it out, and I think this is what's going to happen here. Unless Dino has another idea of what they could do now for this one, but I don't really see it, to be honest. Time will tell, I suppose. But Team Ash just wants to win the tournament. That's pretty clear. Not sure if they're really gonna go for a bounty. You know, they might. Because they kind of get forced into it. You can only play hero once within a series, so that's gonna have an impact on this one too. Yeah, Oriel and Vala. Okay. Oriel and Vala in the house. I mean, what they could have done is they could have tried again for a no-healer composition. They weren't successful when they attempted that bounty. But I suppose that since Abathar has already been played, it usually is part of that. And you don't have too many other heroes that have that self-sustain that you want if you're trying for that bounty. They decided against it. Thrall and Suljin. Okay. We're going full horde over here. Nearly. They captured Anduin. He's a prisoner. He's a hostage. He's just a hostage. He has to bring them water and, you know, make food and stuff. Things that he's good at. So, Dead Inside. Final pick. As we're going towards Garden of Terror. The final map in the best of 5 series. The final map of the grand final. Our last pick is Ragnaros. Okay. Let's go, ladies. Awesome grand final. We're on the final map. Let's see which team claims victory in qualifier number 1 for the Murky Cup. The final map in the best of 5 series, yet the grand final, and over on the left side, the Exodia stack with Copenhagen on Thrall. We got Hazorps on the Vikings, Dino on Suljin. Yasuo's playing Anduin. and Bad Benny on Garrosh. Now, over on the right side of the map, Team Ash with Renella on Oriel. We get Bishops on Maiev, Lopaka on Ragnaros, Dead Inside on Genji, and Miriala, aka Down for Life, is playing Vala. Now, once again, obviously, the draft is quite restricted at this point because we are on map number 5, which means that 40 heroes from the pool are not available any longer. So you definitely have to make a couple of compromises there and think outside of the box. And already we're having them starting to brawl things out here. Vikings on the map, and as I said before, if they want to go for another bounty attempt, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, then it's going to be a longboat play that we're going to get from them. But for Oriel, we now get Searing Light. We got Blast Wave play from Ragnaros, who's essentially acting as a main tank right now. I mean, it's Maiev, Ragnaros up at the front line. And then you have Genji and Vala chipping in. Vala in this case also going for an auto attack build, despite the fact that we don't have that full front line that can shield her or a double healer to help out. But yeah, the Vikings already starting to control the lanes a little bit. Now down at the bottom of the map, Siege Giants slowly starting to spawn, as are the rest of the mercenaries. And the blue team is going aggressively in and tries to take Genji out. Can't kill Genji, but they can at least make that play and steal away the Siege Giant camp of the opponent. Now I gotta admit, when I look at the composition that we're currently getting here, I really like what the Exodia stack has. I think the Vikings will help them quite a lot. I also think that in team fights, Anduin, Garrosh, Thrall, Soljin, that's really powerful as a 4-man. And it will be tricky for Team Ash to win those fights. I mean, maybe if Maiev can get real good connects and cleaves through them, there is a chance. But especially with Soljin potentially stacking, gonna be difficult. Gonna be rough. I mean, either way. And you have the Vikings factor, of course, as well. It's not only that, but it's a big map. So if you have control through the Vikings, that is going to help a lot too. Now, Thrall has at least made a bit of an adjustment when we're talking about him. So we, in this case, have Echo of Elements. And then followed up after... I mean, this was the old school standard talent. And then the Feral Resilience. But it has fallen off, and now Trolling Thunder is kind of the go-to talent level 1 for Thrall players. Every now and then... on the Blue Moon, you're going to get Trash Lightning, but that's mostly dependent on what kind of composition you A, play, and then B, the maps. Battlefield of Eternity is something where we've seen it occasionally, but not really all that often. So now down at the bottom of the map, still there's Oriel and Vala Battery, but we actually have a drop. Yeah, they're pausing the game again because Oriel dropped out, so hopefully the disconnect not too much of an issue. That would, of course, be quite the downfall if we now have in the final map one of their players drop. But yeah, hopefully they're going to recover quickly. Thankfully, it only took a couple of minutes until Renella was back. That would have been pretty dicey. Imagine going to the last and final map of a best of 5 series in the grand final, and all of a sudden one of your players, I don't know, has an actual issue where he can't rejoin the game and you have to play it out with a bot. That would have been a total disaster. But Renella is back, so all is good. And now we'll see how the game is going to play out here and what they can do. But that's definitely a load off my chest because I got a bit worried. I got really a bit worried when he dropped, because so far they only had some lag problems for some of their players, a little bit of high ping where they said, okay, we need a minute, just wait until it's gone. That's very, very different here. So, meantime, Echo of Elements has been completed, so now you have the double charge. You could technically make an adjustment on level 7 if you really wanted to, but of course Ancestral Wrath is still an absolute insane talent. You would be ludicrous not to take it. And with 3 minutes on the board, we haven't seen a kill yet. For a few more stacks, maybe for Soljin. There's not a lot of brawling happening or anything, so Soljin doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get his stacks together for the baseline. But he went also into Arcanite access, so they're clearly hoping to turn him into that late game monster. And they're getting a kill! They're able to take down Genji, that's first blood in the game. Ragnaros even committing to Molten Core to go for interrupts at the potential seed channel at the top. Vikings are doing work here, and yep, that's exactly one of the problems that you're facing off against when you're dealing with Vikings. So, Tried to interrupt again, but the first seed and the second seed are now both taken by the blue team. So already the Exodia stack is controlling the objective and really applying pressure to Team Ash, which is going to be highly uncomfortable once that you're moving into objective number 3. Because, well, early Garden Terrors might just be the thing that we're going to get here. So, 31 stacks for Vala. Has also gone into the hot pursuit now on level 7. Suljin's still not really able to get a lot of stacks together, but as time continues, it's going to get a bit easier. So he's sitting at least at 7. It's not nothing. Half a level of the gap. And actually, with some of these Garrosh plays, he's getting more. Then Thrall gets killed. Genji goes also down, so it's a trade. Suljin now at 11 stacks, and nobody's actually getting there. Getting the first quest reward is also already going to be big. That's going to give him a range increase before the double swing for the Arcanite access later on will kick in. But they've now established a slight advantage in experience. And as I already told you, I would bet money on them going for Longbow. The way they've been playing today, I don't see there's another choice. They're going to go for another bounty. Suljin just taking towers down. He just doesn't care. As long as they have Benny anchoring the plane, making sure that nobody moves in, they're fine. There's the longboat, as expected. Longboat is in the house. We get Decimate, we get Earthquake for Thrall, so they're trying to slow them down to get more longboat value in some of these fights. And yeah, as expected, there's a Garden Terror. One more interrupt, but I do not see a world in which this... actually, now that level 10 is in, you know what, maybe they are even able to get that. Lava Wave! We have Lava Wave in the house, okay. Bit of a whip attempt from Renella. And we got the bubble. The best words. Yeah, the holy word, salvation. Suljin gets bubbled, saved, and gets value against bishops. What a play. Save and kill. Nicely done. And now they want to get... Oh my god, and he's still alive. Suljin is still alive. They're getting kill after kill. The Vikings are channeling. Garden Terrors are coming in. At least Anduin dies, but that's the only one that they were able to take out here. The only one that they were able to claim. Look at this. Insane. The pull from Anduin first, then the bubble afterwards as Maiev moved in. Suljin still dies, by the way, to Ragnaros, as you could see on the little live screen at the top right. But Lopaka, is he going to make it out? Yeah, I suppose he is. But we have 4 kills to 4 now. Utter chaos. Total chaos in some of these fights now. And of course, Ragnaros trying again with his trade with the Molten Core to try and, yeah, just save as many of the structures as he possibly can. We're still early in the game, so there's not a lot of scaling going on the objective, but they can still do some damage. Might not be able to take a fort down though. I'm not 100% certain if that's in the cards for them at this point. But we have 16 stacks now also for Suljin, so as I said previously, Suljin just wants to stack into the late game. And the longer this lasts, the more of a problem he is gonna become. So, yeah, already working on some of the additional camps here. I went into Taz Dingo, so another important choice, not memeing around with a guillotine. Nope. And actually, where is he sitting on damage? Not quite top damage in the game yet, but most damage on his own team, which isn't really a surprise considering that he's the only range damage dealer. And he should be able to surpass a lot of the others soon too. Especially once that he's done with this level, with this baseline quest completely, and can rely on the double swing and stack his Arcanite axes even faster. So now level 13 talents on both sides. It gives us Tempered by Discipline. 3 deaths on Genji, by the way. So yeah, he went a bit too YOLO on this one. Leroy! And there's the Lava Wave. Trixler would be proud. Oh yeah, so much value! Gets another minion wave there. And yeah, just misses out on the one at the bottom. The Vikings are getting slaughtered in the meantime, and while the Vikings die, especially at the top lane too, the same is also true for the fort. So the red team is getting a bit more momentum with a lot of these plays and is able to take a fort down, and that is incidentally the first structure that gets destroyed in this game. So fort on the blue team side falls first, and the red team is taking a small lead in experience, even trying to defend the fort at the bottom of the map. And yeah, can they get a kill here? Aegis being used first. And here comes the earthquake. They still can't kill bishops though. Even Genji is able to get out. And the Vikings are still busy on the map trying to deal with all that pressure that was attempted earlier. Renella pausing the game again. It seems like they're really having some issues here. I said it before, up to now it was mainly bishops that had problems with ping. So I would assume that this is what's now the cause for the pause too. And that Renella nearly dropping out of the game was only a bit of a side issue. But yeah, either way, suffice it to say that Team Ash is definitely having some problems in this grand final. So it was actually Dead Inside that was apparently having some lag issues, and they just waited it out for a minute and now restarted. But the defense at the bottom of the map still going strong. So they are able to hold on to the fort for a bit longer. Eventually, obviously, it should be taken out. But for the time being, they don't have to deal with catapults on that lane. Now the Vikings at the top, they don't only have to deal with catapults, but also with a few remainders of the camp from earlier. So that's another problem, and some more Vikings are being sent up there too. Level 50. They're dead even in experience. It's actually kind of funny. We're now 10 minutes into the final map of this best of 5, and they're absolutely dead even in XP. 19 stacks on Soldier's baseline. Lots of stacks, by the way, for the Vikings too. So they are getting tons of sustain here. Ragnaros. Yep, that's what the Molten Core is for. Make sure that you hold on to the structures and just push your opponent back as quickly as you can. So, good for Ragnaros. But how is the rest of the blue team now going to react? What is their MO? Are they still trying to simply... Yeah, they're still trying to just force some fights. Stack Suljin. Get him better, get him higher, getting stronger. We got him with 20 stacks on the Arcanite Axis. All of those numbers, nothing crazy, nothing insane, nothing to write home about, but it adds up as time continues. This is not the most brawl-heavy game that we've seen so far, but as long as he can consistently just at least get some numbers in, they're going to be totally fine here. Lava Wave gets used again to relieve some of the pressure. The fort is still standing, but the question is for how much longer. And now we have another seed maybe taken by the Exodia stack. If they claim this one, it would be the 5th seed in a row. 5 seeds in a row for the blue team. This is really where the problem comes in. Because if you're now losing 5 seeds, how are you ever going to take the objective? Because when the next one is taken, you're going to lose so many structures and it's going to just start a snowball. So they have to fight for the next one and do something there. With level 16 talents, they have at least Manticore. So I think they were really waiting for that talent here before they're taking a bigger fight. But it's going to get pretty rough. And I expect the Vikings to also contribute in the next team battle. Now that they have Largen in charge for Olaf, the Vikings can all of a sudden contribute a lot more. And while the red team has gotten some really nice power spikes, just look over to the talents that we have for the Exodia stack. I mean, first of all, when we're talking about Thrall, he now has Thunderstorm. That is already crazy. Then, as mentioned before, Largen in charge. Suljin, let the killing begin, but Glyph of Faith for Anduin is oftentimes an absolute game changer for team fights. And by the way, just as a side note, Suljin is not the only one that is not getting any crazy stacks together. You look over to Vala, and she's sitting at 79. That's pretty much nothing. And I don't even blame Miriala for this, because why would I? This is not a game where we have endless fights happening. Teams have been not... I mean, again, the fights have not been lasting very long. It took quite some time for the first kill also to come in. So, not a lot of brawls, we can stack things up. Right now, we have the first seed maybe taken. Vikings are getting attacked at the bottom, and uh-oh, he's trying to X-Strike out. Can they slow him? Nah. Olaf is also gone. That's obviously a little bit of a problem. Hazu can't just simply come in here and now go for a play again. Has to slowly play this out and wait for the rest to respawn. And they are currently rotating in. So we get the lava wave at the bottom of the map. Oh, Oriel, not the spot you want to be in, girl. Oriel gets caught hard and is likely going to fall. There's the longboat. Nice. Longboat play, but first it is a kill against Oriel. Then it's Maiev that falls. Nice bubble play also from Anduin. And the longboat interrupts also Lopaka, who's not going to be able to survive this. He can waste that time. He can't survive that fight. So that's 3 heroes down. 7 kills to 6. And Team Exodia is getting more and more momentum here. Now Suljin is again attacking, is trying to follow it up. 28 stacks for him now. And he wants the 30, and he doesn't quite get it. He's so close, but he hasn't completed the quest yet. They are still getting that fort, and the next seed is now spawning at the bottom of the map. So the blue team definitely on the warpath here. Second fort has fallen. Talking about forts that are getting destroyed. This one at the bottom of the map is also taking a lot of damage. But we have now, for the second time in this game, an objective for the Exodia stack. Second time! Second set of Garden Terrors. Suljin is now at 31,000 damage. Again, still nothing crazy. Not as many fires as he wanted, and there's level 20 talents now as well. So level 20 talents are in. First of all, we get an upgraded longboat. How often do you see that? Ragnar rock and roll. On top of that, we get the earthen shields. Anduin with the light of Stormwind, so goes full into the bubble play. And it's a kill on Ragnaros nearly instantly. Couldn't even use Molten Core or anything. So now Ragnaros is gone. It's a 4 versus 5. No level 20 talents for Team Ash. And boy, are they in trouble here. Oh my god. Yeah, that is hurting. They're losing all of the forts to the Garden Terrors now. The fights are continuing. Suljin is done with the baseline stacking, so now he has a double flip as well. Keep in the middle is already gone, and the move towards the top is already indicating that they're hoping to get the second keep. They couldn't go for the core right away. The death timers are still low, but they're going to the top side to take another keep down. And it is just nasty business that we're witnessing here. With a double swing, Suljin is getting lots and lots of stacks together. That also is reflected in his damage. He's still not top damage dealer in the game. That's still Genji, but he has taken the number 2 spot now. And since level 20 is still missing for Team Ash, they're hoping to take the core. Longboat is in! And it looks more and more like the blue team is going to pick up another bounty and win the first qualifier. Take this best of 5 series. Ragnaros sneaking in from behind and actually getting a Molten Core down. But he gets burned to a crisp within seconds. Now Maiev and Genji are both dead. Genji got his level 20 there towards the last moment, but could never really utilize it with Sunjin. So this is essentially all she wrote. 10 kills to 6. A 3-2 victory, ladies and gentlemen, for the Exodia stack, barring a miracle. And another bounty completed. Longbow Vikings seems like they're going to be able to pull it off. Absolute fascinating first qualifier for the Murky Cup. Totally incredible. Suljin is gone. Garrosh is gone. Can they stop this? I don't think so. And no, they can't. This is victory. The Exodia stack wins qualifier number 1 for the Murky Cup. GG.